everybody, I'm Duncan and I wanted to show you some new little books that I've been making. I'm now uploaded about 6 to my website. It's called runningwaterarts.com, and I just wanted to share with you in this video about the books and give you all the good information so you can know a little bit about them, and maybe you're interested. And so I'll start off telling you about my paper that I make here. It's recycled notebook paper and mail and plants, flowers, dryer lint, and that's about it. Any kind of paper I can recycle has pretty much gone in here. And so with this paper, I started making it kind of thicker, and I decided that it'd be good for book covers. So I started making little books because someone recommended making a planner, and so I tried that. Of course, I don't use a planner. I do use sketchbooks, but I don't use a planner. But still, I just like these open-ended notebooks because they're small, some of them. I have 4 smaller ones here. And so they're easy to take with you, but I will say that these are very delicate books. They shed a little bit when you rub on them and stuff, so if you can see there, all of that paper pulp, there's even little hairs sticking out. I mean, it's hard to hide the process here. But you get all these neat things happen. I really love this black and white striped piece here, and the flower petals. All of it's really nice. And this paper inside, it's not acid-free or light-resistant at all. It's pink masking paper that comes on a really big roll from the hardware store, and I've cut it down. So the 2 sizes I have available are this. It's 5.5 inches wide by 8.5 inches tall, and typically I really like to use 21 sets of 2 pages. So that equals 42 pages. So basically when I'm tearing the roll down, I make it 8.5 by 11, the same size as my homemade paper. And then I fold the paper in half, the 8.5 by 11 piece of paper, so it equals 5.5 by 8.5 tall. So basically this is the size of a piece of computer paper folded in half. So after cutting 8.5 by 11 pieces of the masking paper, I fold them in half, each by hand, and it's a fun part of the process for me, folding paper. And then I glue the stacks, the 21 folded halves, so that makes 42 pages. I glue the stacks together on the seam and the side. So I'm using acid-free PVA white glue similar to Elmer's. But this is acid-free, and so it'll last a long time. It's artist grade. And then, so this seam is all sewn together, and every other page opens up totally flat, and then when you turn it, it has a little bit of a seam together there. So what I do is I take it to one side and I can crease it like that, okay? And it ends up being a little shorter on this side, but I think that's kind of neat because you could do little side notes and things, possibly. So the process that I use by stacking the pages together to glue them results in this effect where every other is completely open and the book opens flat. As you can see, the cover is flexible here. The binding is flexible. The glue allows it to move, okay? So it will open flat, open on the table, which I really like about these books. And then I haven't come up with another way yet. I'm too nervous to just do the binding in glue, so I feel that it's pretty necessary to also glue inside the pages, but this is my first round of books to make, so I'm interested in sharing them with you and seeing what you think. And of course, I think that the process will change to become new and improved in the future, but I just want to be honest with you about what I'm doing right now, and so see how those stick together. So I just put it over the side and can crease it. I'm not going through and creasing open all the pages of all these books because I want you to do that yourself if you want to. Many of them have been opened and creased open because of my, just checking it out and seeing if it works. So I like writing in these with pen, marker. Sharpies are really serious, good permanent markers. You can watercolor in these. Gouache works even better since it's a toned paper. I really like the idea of not having white paper. I think moving away from the standard of white is a good thing, that it's not necessary to bleach our papers. And I think it's just lovely to start off with this color on the page to sort of allow a flow of whatever is ready to come forward and out for your own personal, journey, and also just your greater journey at large here. And so I think books are really fun companions to have a little bit of space for whatever you like. And you can see that, this paper here is just hanging off by a thread there, not even a thread. So these are delicate books. They are works of art in themselves, I think, because of the process unfolding in an organic way. I had a lot of paper to recycle, and I thought, well, I can make a frame or find a picture frame or some kind of frame and staple a screen on it, and then another empty frame on top of it, which is called a decal. And you stick these two frames down in a tub of water that has pulp. I made in my NutriBullet blender for a while, and now I'm using a food processor. So I'm still doing it with my kitchen appliances, but who knows? It works. So, the paper is handmade on the outside, not handmade on the inside, but hand torn and ready to go. So I have about 6 up on the website, runningwaterarts.com, and they're ready there, and I'll be adding the rest of these up there. Let's see what else I have. This one, the binding, 2 pockets for whatever. You don't need to put anything in there, but they could fit a slip of paper if you wanted to. If you wanted to write something in a slip of paper, put it in there. It would hold it really well. It won't fall out. And we've got about 42 pages in the 5.5 by 8.5 book. Approximately 42. I'm pretty sure I've been pretty consistent with the stacks of 21. So that makes 42 pages. And I have this one with a long yellow pocket, the binding, and the inside. Similar situation there. The back, it's just paper. As you can see, plant materials. This one is fun. The binding is here. As you can see, it's a clear glue here. And this one looks darker because I took some acrylic medium gel. And so acrylic, it's plastic based. So this one's been sealed with a clear gel acrylic medium, which darkens the paper. This paper would have been similar to this, maybe a little more green. And then adding on the inside will show you the original color. Adding on the medium makes it darker, more saturated, I think. And it has a gray pocket on it. And the acrylic medium gel gives it a little bit of a roughness to feel, so it's like really tactile. It's like grippy, and it's a little harder than the soft books. So if you want one of the soft books coated in the acrylic gel, I'm happy to do that too. And then this one has watercolor that was laid into the paper as it was made. So I dropped watercolor on the paper and then it dried. And you can see how the color sort of bled and drifted a little bit. So this is the binding of this one. It's a little bit more rigid because of the glue. And then soft cover, open it up. Okay, 42 pages. And on the back it has a pocket, like a blue jean back pocket. That's what I was kind of going for. I even drew with gel pen little stitches on the side. I just couldn't get over it. And then this one's a unique book. I drew a picture on the front. It just sort of popped out. First was the rainbow shape, and then I just kept going with watercolor, gel pen, and graphite. So you open up this book, and you have 2 pages, and then that's it. Back cover, right? And then you flip it over, and you can open it from the back side, and you get 1, 2, 3 spreads, right? And then if you take it and you open it up, it's an accordion. So I thought this would be a fun book for a story or a comic. And woo! It's so unique. Got that little cluster in the middle. I thought it was fun. Okay, so you get a good look at the detail on there. So that's another available book. I don't think I've added this one on the website yet. I'm excited to show you and see if there's any interest here. I'll get it up there. It's just so silly. And then we've got this pink one with a gray pocket, binding side, pages, opening side. Back of it, binding, okay? Again, 42 pages, that's a stack of 21 folded ones. And this one is it's the second one that I've done with a gel medium coat over it. This one's a little less rough, but still more grippy. This was a light yellow, much like this. See how it darkened a bit? And then it has a light purpley gray pocket. And the back is a different paper. So yellow's on the front, purple's on the back. This is my first one that I've switched the covers up. So the inside of the back cover has been coated with the gel medium, so it's a little stiffer, but the outside is still unpainted. You can see a little bit of bronze paint here that I had mixed in with my pulp, sort of settled there. So this one's speckledy, has a little bit of bronze paint and pink paper throughout. It's pretty interesting. It's hard to capture right here. And the edge really squished out when I formed the paper and made this rugged edge here. So the acrylic medium helps keep that on. It's a little shiny. So from the front it looks shiny, from the back no. So that one is, I believe that one's on the site right now. And I'll be working on getting all of them up there. I think this one's up there. It has a few less pages in it, probably around 28 pages. They fan open. They're great for little poems, little notes, little lists, little things you want to remember to read later. Just flip through. I think it'd be fun to do a little picture book with one of these, like a little art project. So I think I have the smaller ones around $20 and the larger around $35 on the site. Let me know what you can do if you want to bring one of these little babies in your life and start writing and drawing. So you can use it for whatever you'd like to. You can even paste pictures inside to make sort of a book, inspiration book, scrapbook. You can paste little pictures in there. And so I'll just come through the stack again here to show ya. Do 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 do. Boo 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 boo. I've got all this dust flying in here. Number one, because these have been sitting on my shelf for a week or two. And the other reason is they do shed a little bit. They are so natural. They just shed all over. So it's something to be taken care of. It's something to be cautious with a little bit. And I think that's kind of a neat practice, because when we remember the delicate nature of our self, surrounding everything is delicate in a way, and can be treated with care and awareness, and then our practice will follow that lead. And it's okay if something falls apart, and it's okay if something sheds a little bit, and maintaining this balance for ourselves is part of our creative decision making and journey, and what we learn from what we do, how we do it, and we can see a reflection of that practice through the work that we make. And there's all sorts of stuff that can influence our work, and we can never be aware of it all. And so just give yourself some space for possibility, and I wish you well on your creative journey. Let me know if you're interested in any of these books. It's my first round, and I know that improvements might be able to be made over time, but I think this is a swell batch. I think that there's some charm in these books, and I'm excited to share them with you. So thank you for joining me in the studio to learn about the little books that Running Water Arts is offering now. And I'll see you next time. Have a good day.